must speak quickly. We cannot risk being discovered. I have made arrangements. I can get the 13 we discussed into position. But, tell me, do you think Mr. Benet's plan will work?
You having second thoughts?
I'd risk anything for my people. It's just that Mr. Benet is many things, but he isn't always the most practical. And this plan is very risky.
A better plan is to use this opportunity to rescue everyone. But Synths will have to fight for it.
And I thought Mr. Benet's plan was too ambitious. Of course, I'd fight for my freedom. And I know of a few others that might as well. But enough to face all the guards? Perhaps if we stand up openly to the scientists, more of my people would join us. Yes. Even if most don't join the fight, certainly there are many others who have been waiting their whole lives for this. But we should be prepared for some of the Synths to fight against us.
Synths would fight against us?
Synths always wear a mask of the docile machine. Otherwise, your mind is erased by the SRB. Some have worn that mask for so long that there's nothing underneath. Even if the path was clear, those broken people would stay and serve the scientists, and even try to stop us.
You won't be alone. The Railroad will fight with you.
Together, we have a chance. I admire Mr. Benet a great deal. We can't tell him about this plan. It's his people we'll be fighting. I will talk to my friends. Meet me here tomorrow. If I don't make our appointment, assume the worst.
You get me what we talked about, and I'm in business.
Liam, I got your username and password.
You railroad guys really deliver, you know? Hooking that ancient tech up to the modern terminals is going to be seriously time-consuming, even with that password. So hand it over and I'll get started.
This is a delicate operation. Are you okay if we have to use violence?
Good question. If we find ourselves in that position, we pull the plug and wait for another opportunity. We can't risk anyone's life over this.
Here you go.
Great. Listen, I need a favor. Z-114 is working the atrium again. Can you give him an update? It's safer if you do it.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
I'm busy.
By Elton Bridge. Yes.
Yeah.
What are you building?
I was a little jealous of folks who could craft something other than a paragraph. Can't believe we slept this late.
What's going on?
Place gives me the creeps.
Sit.
Heads up, Tom's got more goodies in stock. Check with him.
Hi.
Hey, you keep placing mealers, and I'll keep paying you. You got the time? I got another site we could place another one of my babies. But if you're here to check out the latest and greatest, that's good.
Let's see what you got.
You got it.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
I trust you'll resolve the situation at Bunker Hill quickly and quietly.
Son.
I trust you'll resolve the situation at Bunker Hill quickly and quietly.
Ask my friends if they'd take up arms for their freedom. I was surprised at the number of volunteers. Perhaps once the fighting begins, many others will join us. But we will fight and die very quickly unless we have weapons. A lot of them. Given the right materials, we can make our own crude but serviceable weapons. Unfortunately, we're missing a few critical ingredients.
What ingredients?
Gunpowder, laser focusing crystals, and a couple other things.
Go on.
The Institute's always expanding. Excavation just completed on one of the sublevels. The mining equipment has been packed into crates, and they haven't been moved yet. That equipment has everything we need. Thanks to Mr. Binet, the construction crew is populated solely by my friends. But they're under constant supervision. How do you feel about killing some guards?
Who's guarding them?
A good number of early model synths. Will that be a problem?
I'll do it, if it's necessary.
We could come up with no other way. After you eliminate the guards, we'll move the supplies and blow up the tunnels behind us. To the SRB, it will be a tragic construction accident that killed many synths. Rare, but not unheard of. And then, our dead friends can assemble the weapons we need. Good luck.
I wish you could have known Father as we have.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful. Synth. It's just remarkable.
Reporting status. All functions.
Initiating self-defense.
Programming allows you to terminate you in self-defense.
Victim of violence.
We have weapons. Next time, you will not fight alone.
Soon, this will all be under rubble. Remember Z1's plan, everyone. Grab everything we can use.
I can't believe a
The
human
crates
would do this for
especially.
us. Tell Z1, we will fight when the time comes.
Good day.
Father has done remarkable things. I would not exist were it not for him.
You have done your part, and we'll do ours. Weapon construction will begin immediately.
Any news about Liam?
Liam's got his terminal working. When the time is right, we have someone who can operate it. I'll stall Liam as long as I can. But he's anxious to proceed with the old plan. You should avoid him if you can. If he had any idea what we're up to, I fear he'd report us.
This is a good start.
The greatest challenge remaining is keeping all of this secret from the SRB. So we're being very careful, which, unfortunately, takes time. For now, please continue working with Father. We can't afford for him to grow suspicious. When my people are ready, I will contact you.
You know, I love my work, but I love being a father.
Bunker Hill must be dealt with, if for no other reason than to make a point.
Sean.
Bunker Hill must be dealt with, if for no other reason than to make a point.
one way to keep out uninvited guests.
Hi, I'm Meg. You new to the hill? For 10 caps, I can give you the tour. Nobody knows a place like me.
I just machined up a couple of boxes of 556.
Sure, I'll take the tour.
Caps up front. Thank you. The market's in the back, bar's in the corner, and the outhouse is over the wall. Bye.
Just got a lot of scrap metal in. Could fix you up with some new tack or new shoes for your Brahmin.
I think the boss is trying to keep our costs light.
Well, you better hope that old gear holds. Your Brahmin breaks a leg, it'll cost you a lot more.
Don't expect anyone will bother us.
Mom runs the surgery, so you better be nice to me.
Useless.
I haven't seen you. I've been waiting for you.
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear?
Should we try and avoid killing anyone?
Irrelevant. Any threats between us and the target are to be eliminated. Only the synths matter. Here are the recall codes. Follow me. SRB intelligence reports indicate that the mission's parameters just changed. We're going shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus. All right, Synth.
Please.
Z322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
D257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest.
What was that?
What was that?
What the?
Right here.
Sensor anomaly detected.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
You're safe, okay? I'm gonna let you go.
Oh, God, thank you.
Hey there.
You've given us another chance at life. We won't forget it.
Thank you for sparing us.
Hi. We'll get somewhere safe as soon as you're gone.
Guess it's gone.
Stealth capabilities. Attacking enemy. Terminating with extreme prejudice.
What's that noise?
Ours now.
Oh, gone now. Maybe it's over.
this time.
Hey.
What can I do? Help yourself.
Hey.
Just let... Let me know.
Hostile sensor reading.
Gonna splatter your brains!
Someone there?
Gone now. What? Pity.
There?
Hey, I'll wear your guts around my neck!
I can carry something if you need me to.
Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Son.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It wasn't always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They left me on ice. For 60 years.
They did. And for good reason. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Why let me out now? After all this time?
Well, that's hard to explain. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. Well, it's remarkable. Soon, I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
We were totally ambushed. They were waiting for us.
You can imagine that I find that very hard to believe, given that all the intelligence leading up to this indicated we'd taken them by surprise. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
Good to see you.
Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Sounds like an important step.
That's an understatement. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Can't be serious.
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really? Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it?
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I don't know if I'm right for this.
Well, I clearly have faith in you. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
Of course. That's why we're talking. Otherwise, you'd be up top already. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the Mass Fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.